Are you ever gonna let that go? Nicholas flashed me a sexy grin. Not likely. I shook my head in mock annoyance. Inching closer to him on my love seat, I draped one of my legs over his and sighed. Maybe I should have tried to publish Read My Mind first. A Blogger's Life was technically my second novel. I had given up writing Read My Mind in high school, only to pick it up and finally finish it 10 years later. Although Read My Mind was the novel that qualified me as a finisher, I ultimately decided to shelve it and pursue A Blogger's Life instead. Crinkling his brow, Nicholas asked, I thought you said this one was much better. Rubbing the opal pendant on my necklace, I said, Do you not think so? Nicholas shook his head. I can't say I haven't started reading it yet. Probably noticing my face drop, he added, I promise I will soon. It is better, but apparently, chick lit is dead among traditional publishers unless you're an established author in the genre. Young adult paranormal, on the other hand, is hot. Considering how many fans Pastel is the New Black has, I'd say chick lit is pretty hot too. Patting my knee, he added, almost as hot as its founder. Nicholas was correct that my book blog, Pastel is the New Black, had thousands of followers. Unfortunately for me, none of those fans were literary agents, as far as I knew. Why couldn't I have written A Blogger's Life 10 years ago when chick lit was on fire? I whined. Considering I didn't even know what a blog was when I was 19, it was a rhetorical question. It is what it is, Kimmy. Nicholas ran one hand along my thigh and then slowly up to the zipper on my black skinny jeans. Anything I can do to make you feel better? He asked. You can try, but it will be hard. Placing my hand over his crotch, he said, It's very hard, but you're worth it. There was nothing I wanted more, besides an offer for agent representation, than to get down and dirty with Nicholas right then and there. But I was so behind on book reviews for my blog. I also wanted to make some revisions to my agent query letter based on suggestions from one of my author friends, and I knew Nicholas was swamped too. I decided a compromise was in order. How about we do it in an hour? Nicholas frowned and tugged at my zipper. But I want to do it now, he said, adopting the bratty, entitled voice of Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Sliding away from him, I said, It's called delayed gratification. You should try it. Nicholas got up from the couch and stood in front of me. Extending his hand, he said, You don't want to make my brown eyes blue, do you, Kimmy? He frowned, drawing my eyes to his full and completely biteable lower lip. I couldn't help but smile. Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue had become our song the night we got back together. I sang it to him at karaoke in a grand gesture when my two best friends, Bridget and Caroline, dared me to stop moping about and write my own happy ending. I reached for Nicholas's hand and allowed him to pull me to a standing position. I don't want anything of yours to be blue, I said, as my eyes dropped down to his groin. Leading me to my bedroom, he said, That makes two of us. As promised, Nicholas made me feel better. He had mad skills. But even as I writhed in ecstasy beneath him, I wondered if my 15th rejection letter had already landed in my inbox. Can I tell you how much I hate the commute downtown from here? Nicholas asked later that night. He was sitting on the edge of my queen-sized bed and stood up to pull his jeans over his hips. I gazed at his lean but muscular chest and reached forward to run my pointer finger up and down the happy trail of dark hair that extended from his belly to the button of his jeans. Why don't you stay over? I might have been preoccupied with catching up on my blog a few hours ago, but now I just wanted more Nicholas. I don't have work clothes here, so I can either go home now or stay and stop at my place before work first thing tomorrow. Crinkling his nose, he added, But the thought of getting up extra early to go downtown just to go back to Midtown is not at all appealing. He leaned down to plant a soft kiss on my lips. Sorry, Kimmy. I reclined against my headboard and sighed. I suppose I'll do some reading.